The spotlight was on the Omaheke region this past weekend as it proudly hosted the 2026 Miss Namibia pageant, bringing together contestants, supporters, and visitors from across the country. Beyond celebrating beauty, talent, and cultural diversity, the event also provided an opportunity to showcase the region's tourism potential, hospitality, and capacity to host national events. As the curtains came down on what many have described as a successful weekend, we now reflect on the impact of the pageant on the region, the benefits for local businesses and communities, and what this milestone means for Omaheke going forward. We are now joined by the governor of the Omaheke region, Honorable Pinjoga Nate, who will share his assessment of the event and the region's plans to build on the momentum. Governor, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining you, and good morning to yourself and the listeners.
Firstly, congratulations on hosting the 2026 Miss Namibia pageant. What does bringing an event of this magnitude to the Omaheke region mean for the region and its people?
The bringing of the pageant to Omaheke region means to us a lot, because as a region we were honored to be given the opportunity to host this event of Miss Teen and Miss Namibia, and we can only remain indebted to the NBC and those sponsors that were involved, as well as the community that came in big numbers to contribute to the success of this event, and as well as the leadership and the owners of the dam, Khobabes Boerdery, and other entities that have hosted the pageant, as well as the traditional leaders. They all played a very important role, and we remain indebted of them.
Now, hosting such an event could mean so much economically for the region. What impact did the event have on local businesses, tourism, and employment during the weekend?
Definitely to the business and hospitality sector, it meant a lot. It meant a lot because we were able to sell our produce, to sell our services, and it boosted the economy very well. Even when you look at the dam got a facelift, an amphitheater was built, and a facility that will be used for generations to come, as well as the general capacity building of the dam and other institutions where this event was held. Many community members could lease their houses for overnight facilities and could complement the hospitality sector. We have over 18 houses that were availed by community members. It means that these community members could earn a little income. The local vendors were standing all over the streets of Khobabes, selling their food to bypassers, as well as soft drinks. We had the horse racing as well, the Saturday morning until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. The vendors were again there, also selling their produce. We had the meat and beer festival, where vendors again could make some end meets by selling their produce. So the whole economy of Khobabes, including the bigger shops like Spar, Shoppies, who opened their doors also on the Thursday, just right at the right time. Shops like ShopRite and other outlets could really make a living and could really enhance their income through these activities. The whole town was full. We were full to capacity. We were tested beyond our own ability to host all these guests that came. But somehow we did manage, and we also apologize for those who may endure some inconvenience, but it was overwhelming for a town as small as Khobabes with limited accommodation facilities. But so far, we have just received good praises from the visitors, and we could have an opportunity to market our town as a tourist destination and also as a gateway into SADC, and also bringing Kobabes on the map. And having been a town that was plagued by the highest rate of COVID deaths, issue of malnutrition, to us ourselves, it was an economic and also spiritual upliftment, and also putting new trust, new hope in us. And now we have a roadmap as to how do we want to move forward, and how should we move forward into making sure that we sustain the momentum, because we have really put a benchmark there. And this yardstick that we have put there is very, very challenging, and we have to move out of our comfort zone and really live up to the new expectations that we have created.
Now, what was the level of community involvement in hosting the pageant, and how important was local participation in making the event a success?
I think one of the things that we definitely have done correctly as leadership was to have this activity or event being owned by the community. You will notice that both the winners of Miss Teen and Miss Namibia are winning livestock that was donated by community members, by traditional leaders. Traditional leaders also hosted these finalists at their respective traditional homesteads, introduced them to their different cultures and traditions. So the community was really, really involved, including our community in Botswana. We have visited Botswana, and also to the extent that Ms. Botswana joined us in Botswana, and she came again all the way into Namibia to be part of this pageant, as well as a delegation of over 40 people that traveled from Botswana to be part of this. So in essence, what we have done, we also have reached out to our brothers and sisters in Botswana, and we have strengthened that bond that existed between Namibia and Botswana, and it can just go from strength to strength. But generally, the whole community was involved. Some community members donated also livestock for the winners, and livestock to be sold to help strengthen the whole Miss Namibia beauty pageant. So community involvement was really, really maximum.
Following the successful hosting of the Miss Namibia 2026 pageant, what other major events or development initiatives can Namibians expect from the Omaheke region in the near future?
Of course, at high level, we will soon assemble within the next 2 weeks and take stock as to where we have been before this competition and where we are intending to go by involving all stakeholders like the tourist sector, the business community, and also the political leadership and traditional leadership, and say, where do we go from here? But one of the things that we can now look forward is to really giving meaning to the term, the cattle country, and say, how are we really a cattle country? What are the activities that we are doing as a cattle country that should really be our brand? And how do we capitalize further on, for example, on the tourism potential of us as a region? How do we go about it? How do we go about issues like accommodation? How do we go about developing facilities, for example, that can host in future big numbers? How do we go about in strengthening our partnership with Botswana, capitalizing on a foot-free mouth disease status that we have as a country, and Omaheke as, for example, the cattle hub of Namibia in terms of quality. I know my counterpart in Oshodonjupa will say he's having more cattle, but I think when it comes to quality, we should be the best. And also as the biggest grain producer under irrigation in Omaheke in the country, how do we go about in capitalizing on all these things, and how do we build the economy of this region so that we move from position of being poor to a position of being wealthy, and also to be counted amongst some of the most productive regions, and how do we contribute to the GDP? We cannot pride ourselves year in, year out that we are one of the poorest regions, one of the regions that are the most having the most illiterate rate and so on. we need to migrate. We need to move to the next level. But that will need us to come together and take stock and plan ahead. For now, our theme for this year is unlocking manufacturing and mining in the region. That's what we are focusing on. But then we need to come together and say, how do we move towards that?
Now, perhaps lastly, Governor, for those other corporates and other organizations that want to bring events of such a magnitude, what would you like to say to them? Is there enough capacity also to accommodate more of these events in the near future, even if they are multiple or, after one another?
No, definitely capacity have been built, and also shortcomings have been identified through the hosting of this event. And I believe that the sky is basically the limit, or the universe is the limit. We are ready to host whatever corporate or whatever activity, cultural, be it corporate, we can host it. We have built capacity now, and we also know how to navigate around the challenges. So we're ready to host big events, and we will start also with our partners, our friends in Botswana, and see how can we bring them over, and how can they really come and also be part of the contributors to our economy as a region. And yes, definitely, Omaheke is the place to be. We have proven ourselves, and we are receiving a lot of compliments. As much as there were challenges, compliments are flowing in, where people are saying, oh, Omaheke, you pulled it off. Omaheke, we did not know you have this capacity. So we're ready for any big event, be it small, be it big or medium. We're ready, more than ready.
Honorable Governor, thank you so much for taking time to be with us this morning here on Namibia Connects, and congratulations once again.
Yeah, and thank you very much to the NBC and Deb Marin and everyone who have really made this event a success. And thank you for choosing Omaheke. And definitely Omaheke is your next destination of choice.
Thank you. Well, that was the Omaheke Governor, or Regional Governor Pijon Ganates, just reflecting on the successful hosting of Miss Namibia 2026.